Alright, so this is going to be a reading for Sagittarius, and for the Sagittarius that I'm reading for today, I'm seeing that there's something in your environment, possibly your home or your job, that is really stressing you out. It presents itself as a heavy burden, and it looks like it was stressing you out in the past, but it's also really stressing you out in the current energy, and I see you really wanting a change here with the Wheel of Fortune at the center of your reading. And I see that that change is very possible, but it requires you to step outside of your comfort zone and to look towards new possibilities. And so Spirit's really asking you here, with the Page of Wands in your overall energy, to have a beginner's mind and to open up to new possibilities. When I clarified the Page of Wands, I got the Strength card, the Page of Swords, the Moon. So Spirit's asking you to have the strength to look deeper at what might not be readily apparent. There could be options that you're not aware of. There could be information that's unknown to you. There could be opportunities that you're not seeing. And Spirit's asking you to have the strength to dig a little deeper. Now, I'm going to dive deeper into this reading in a moment, but before I do, I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for receiving this reading. If you would like a personal reading, I do offer them. You can email me. My email is down below in the description box. And if this reading resonates with you, please take a second to like and subscribe. Only about 1/5 of my returning viewers subscribe to the channel. So if you've ever enjoyed a reading before or you come back again and again, please take a second to subscribe, as that helps me out a lot. Now let's dive into what's going on here, Sagittarius. You're showing me that there's something around you, something in your material world that could be shaking you up. Even if on the surface everything seems comfortable, it's like there's a needle in the haystack and you're feeling pretty uncomfortable, pretty rattled by something here that came in. Let's take a look at that. There's something that you thought would be a good idea, and now you're kind of second guessing it or realizing it's not as stable as you thought. Maybe this is something that's involving other people and it feels like you can't really rely on them or trust them. Maybe they go back and forth with the things that they say or do, and you think that you're on steady ground, or you think that you're working towards something with them, and then it turns out you can't really rely on them as much as you thought. And over time, if that happens over and over again, eventually you're going to feel like, well, what are we even doing here? What are we even working towards? And are we on the same page? Yeah, you're showing me that you really have your ish together. You really know what you're looking for in your workable environment. So maybe your home, your community, your workplace, wherever you physically are. And you've really just been wanting to, I just heard, live with someone. So for some of you, this could be about the people that you live with. But you really want to build with someone who sees your vision and it feels equally harmonious with them. Even if you're not always on the same page, you want to build towards something that feels lasting, stable, easy, good, and harmonious. And it could feel like up until now, it's been quite the struggle, and you've had to kind of just keep going and going and going, and it could feel like it's using up a lot of your energy with that Nine of Wands and the Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. It could feel like you just can't really catch a break because you don't ever really feel supported by the energy that comes to meet you. And over time, you could just feel kind of burnt out and exhausted from repeatedly trying to make things work with the people around you and feeling like your energy is never really met. You could be beginning to wonder if you're ever going to be happy in the stability that you have, if you're ever going to reach the stability that you want. You could start to, not even see the positive things around you because you're only seeing the negative. There's something here about your perspective that could be a little bit distorted because of how tiring these dynamics really are. And you're showing me a desire for equal give and take with the Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You want to feel like not only can you rely on the people around you and the people that you're building with, but that there's a level of reciprocity. You're getting out what you're putting in. And that's been pretty stressful for you so far. Let's take a look at the current energy. We have the Ten of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Nine of Swords. Before I dive into that, I also want to tell you about your oracle cards. We have Fighting, Courage, and Breakthrough. So you could have felt like you're literally fighting with the people around you. There could be a lot of conflict. It could feel like you go from one conflict to the next, or there could be inner fighting. And Spirit's kind of saying that it's going to require you to have some courage in order to find a breakthrough in this situation. You might have to do things a little bit differently. You might have to stand up for yourself in a new way. You might have to have the courage to leave your comfort zone and leave this situation and move on to new horizons. There is a way out. It's just like you're really in the middle of something difficult here, and so it's hard for you to see the change that's around you. Let's take a look at the Ten of Wands here in the current energy for you. For the Ten of Wands, we have the Two of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups. You're showing me that you're trying to figure out what you can do here to improve this situation. You could feel like no matter how much effort you put in, you don't really see this working out. And it could feel like you have to navigate this situation a certain way or be really strategic about what you do here, what action you take. And I just see you really trying to figure it out. And it kind of comes along with that feeling of walking on eggshells. Like you could be nervous that if you make the wrong move or you do the wrong thing or you don't do enough, that things kind of go south. And you're kind of showing me, I just want to keep the boat steady. I want to keep everything feeling as good as it can and hopefully make things better in this situation. But it's difficult. Let's look at the Nine of Swords here for you. For the Nine of Swords, you get the Seven of Cups, the Six of Cups, the Five of Cups. So your emotional energy for this is going down. If you felt emotionally invested in this, it's starting to feel foggier and more confusing as time goes on. You're starting to feel less and less connected to this, less and less engaged. And you may feel not very cared for in this situation, and it's leading you to sort of disconnect from the heart space more and more. And the more you disconnect from the heart space, the more you go up into the mind space and possibly start spiraling or, feeling like you can't really figure this out. But it's interesting because that Nine of Swords, that mental energy, is really tied to your decreasing emotional energy and a certain level of possibly heartbreak or like not feeling cared for over time. It could feel like the other energy that's involved in this, it's that they don't care, and so that makes it hard to communicate because it feels like you're not on the same page, or it feels like even if I communicate to the best of my ability, if they don't care about me, then they're not going to want to find some resolution here. Others of you just might not feel understood on an emotional level. You might feel like you're going through an emotional experience that makes you feel kind of alone, and so then it becomes hard to communicate about anything like that. Just take it if it resonates and leave it if it doesn't. Let's look at the Wheel of Fortune for what's shifting here in your current energy. The Seven of Wands, the Emperor, the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, there's some type of immovable force around you. It could be some type of authority figure, possibly, even like a father figure or some type of really intense masculine energy. But even if it's not that, even if you are living all with women or really feminine energies or something like that, it presents itself as an energy that's very much like my way or the highway. You could feel like you're talking to a wall with this person. You could feel like they never really change, like time passes and you're growing or you're working towards things, but this energy that's opposite you won't really work with you, and so it's like continuously throwing paint at a wall and waiting for it to stick or something, and that's a really difficult energy here, and it makes you feel less and less invested and less attached because it feels like, no matter what you do, this person won't really budge or this energy won't really budge. Interesting. It's a tough situation. That's why it's going to take you some courage to break through, because you might have to cut your losses and leave. You might have to realize you're not going to get through to this person, even though all you really want to do is work on this with them. You know, you might have to be honest with yourself about what's possible here, and are they going to be able to work with you. Let's take a look at the Justice card. We have the High Priestess, the Knight of Cups, the Page of Swords. So your higher self comes in here and asks you to honor your feelings and look at, you know, what is it that you're feeling? What are your feelings trying to tell you? And your feelings might be trying to tell you that this isn't it. This isn't the situation for you, that this isn't how you should be treated, that it's not serving you. There's something here that's a little bit out of balance, obviously, and your higher self could be bringing up some hard feelings for you so that you can see that this isn't really what you wanted. Even if at one point this was what you wanted, as you move into the future and you start to get centered and align more with yourself, you're going to see that you can't keep throwing paint at this wall and seeing if it's going to stick. You can't keep trying to work with someone who's not going to work with you. And it's going to require you to step into your power and also to sort of mature and step into your own masculine energy here, and not feel belittled. There's a part of you that could feel like your inner child is activated. For some of you, this could literally be a parent or a parent figure or an elder, that when you're around them, you feel a little bit diminished, or you feel like you can't be your full self. And Spirit's saying it's time for you to step into your full self and own who you are and hold on to who you are. You know, you might even be older than this person that you're working with that's opposite you, but for some reason they bring out that part of you that feels small. They might make you feel small, and Spirit's saying it's time for you to feel big again. Let's take a look at that energy with the King of Wands, Sagittarius, the Star, the Four of Pentacles, the Two of Cups. Yeah, Spirit's saying hold on to your vision for what you want out of your connections, out of your relationships, what kind of energy does match you. And if this person doesn't align with that, or if the people around you don't align with the energy that you know matches you, then it's important to remember that and to realign, to reroute, to change pathways here. And there's a part of you, again, that might get lost when you're connecting with energies that don't align with you, or like when there's conflict, when there's this much stress, when it just always feels difficult. It's like that part of you that takes up space and feels strong and empowered starts to kind of fade away. And so Spirit's asking you to remember who you are and what it feels like to be empowered in connections with people. Yeah, Spirit's basically saying to hold on to your vision. You're showing me back there that you really wanted to work with this energy and build with this energy, and that it really didn't work out. It didn't go the way that you wanted. It was stressful. It was painful. You feel like you're walking on eggshells, all of these things. And Spirit's saying, remember what it is that you set out here to do. And if it's not working, you know, if you're trying over and over again and you keep hitting a dead end, you keep hitting a wall, be honest with yourself about the fact that you're upset. Be honest with yourself about the fact that you're not building what it is you wanted to build, because ultimately that's where your energy is going to go. It just might not be in this situation, and that's just a lesson. You know, it's just an experience. But don't let this completely stop you in your tracks, because you still have this very valuable energy within you that's trying to move in that direction that you were always trying to move in. And this energy just isn't really matching it, and that's okay. But it's time to be honest with yourself, Spirit's saying, and to not lose sight of your original goal, and in so doing, don't lose sight of yourself. So let's get 3 cards of advice for Sagittarius, and then we'll close out the reading. For the advice for this reading, we get the King of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords. Yeah, this person that you thought was going to rise to the occasion, they just never do. you may go to them expecting all of the stability, all of the capabilities to really be able to match you where you're at with the King of Pentacles, but they show up as the Page, which is a much smaller energy, almost immature in comparison, like not fully developed. Like they just don't have what it takes to deliver on what you want them to. And that could be really painful to fully understand and accept, but it's also just bringing in an ending that's necessary. Like that's it. That's your answer. If someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. I think that's a Maya Angelou quote, but it might be Toni Morrison. But that's what I'm thinking here. If someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope that this helps. I hope that this resonates, and I'll see you next time. Bye.